Also possibly because of the electricity and the internet shutdown.
Yes, it's not only they actually cut off and blacked out the internet, they also cutting off the light in the street at night because they want to kill people in the silence.
Well, we won't let that happen here at Sky. We'll continue to speak out about it. Mani, I'll come to you next. We've seen reports of up to 12,000 or more protesters that have been killed. And the regime puts this figure, of course, much lower than that, but still at least a couple of thousand. What's your reaction to hearing so many of your fellow countrymen and women are being killed by this regime?
I can say this is very critical and heartbroken time for all Iranians around the world, inside, outside, because to my understanding and many people, it's very close to a crime against humanity. And now the people inside expecting their compatriots living outside of Iran in a safe environment to send their voice, to send their message to the world that we need some sort of help. You know, we are just bare hands. But the other side, the Islamic, brutal regime, very, very equipped. They have, machine gun. They have exported some militia from Iraq called Hashosh-Shabi. There are different militia on the streets with the snipers and killing innocent people and shooting on their head, on their hearts, So Iranian people at the moment, because they started this revolution with the command of our Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, and which is the only hope of the Iranian people to be establish a democracy and freedom in Iran. So the Iranians expecting the world, don't be silent. Send the voice of the Iranians to the outside. We need some sort of support, some sort of help from media, from the, human rights organizations and journalists around the world. It's actually a crime against humanity. And the actual fact is that we need some sort of, foreign interfere, we don't need any boots on ground, or we have plenty of boots on the ground.
Would you like to see the US actually strike Iran?
Yes, definitely. Because of that, we had a protest 2 days ago and again tomorrow in front of the US consulate. But we believe that only a superpower can stop them, A superpower like US, they have plenty of, capabilities, abilities around the region in the Middle East, and the only language the mullah we can talk to them is military. The only language they can understand. That's it.
Yeah, and they respect strength.
That's it.
Which Donald Trump has portrayed, at least. I want to ask you both. You've held a protest this week outside the US consulate. You're planning more tomorrow and this weekend, other protests. But how do you feel they've been supported by the wider community? Because when I look over the past couple of years, there have been thousands of people attending pro-Palestinian marches, marching across the bridge. How do you feel that your case and the human rights abuses that are happening in Iran have been received?
Actually, what was in mind, I was about to say, you said it. During the past 2 years, we have been seeing pro-Palestinian marching in the street, and there was lots of university campaign around the world, and they actually supporting Palestinian people, and they accusing the supposed genocide in Gaza by Israelis. But the real genocide is happening now in Iran, because the brutal regime in Iran, they're killing the people in the dark and the silence. But what happened? That's my question. Where are these support people? Where are the lefties? Where are the university? Why all the people are silenced, not only in Australia, but also around the world? So this is a real genocide happen, but I can't see anything. So it's very heartbroken for me. It's very hard, and I'm asking. This question is coming to my mind. So where is the campaign? Where is the university campaign? Where is the Green Senates? Where is the other political men in this country and Western country to come and support Iranian people, because they're being killed in the country by the militia, such as Kataib or Hashd Shahbi. This regime exported them from the Iraq, from the Afghanistan, or from the Lebanon to our country to kill their own people. But there's no voice out there.
I mean, there's no March for Humanity. There's no calls for boycotts coming from university campuses. Mani, do you have an idea of why there might be this silence from the left or from the activist class?
Yeah, because as you might know, that there is no, attraction from the people. There is no, if they support Iranians, how they can get the votes, But if they support pro-Palestinian, or if they waving some, Palestine or whatever flag, they can get votes. They can some attraction by the pro-terrorist groups around the world in Australia. How come, a few months ago, we had a massive protest on the iconic symbol of Australia in Harbour Bridge. More than 90,000 people, chanting on the bridge, on our bridge, which is belong to every Australian, and chanting, some useless words. And just in front, the front line was a couple of politicians such as Bob Carr or Julian Assange or Senator Mehreen Farouqi, and just behind them was a massive image of Ali Khamenei, a dictator of Iran. And they didn't...
And how does it make you feel to see that?
It's very disappointing, very disappointing. I'm asking all Green senators, such as David Shubridge, Mehreen Farouqi, Iranians, they are not human. Only Gazan people, they are humans. Iranians are not humans. Why you are not? If you're honest with yourself, if you're saying, oh, we are for supporting human rights, blah, 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 and using some useful idiots on the streets. Iranians, they are not human. Iranians, they are not humans. The guy whose image you were carrying just behind you now made a crime against humanity in Iran, But you are not, you are, blind and you are deaf.